Get out of here, baby.
Pew, 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 pew. Yeah.
Come at us.
All right, guys, welcome back to another episode of the Moratorium. This is the Moratorium Mini. I guess you just caught the new intro. Thank you, Titanium Pinos, for our fabulous music. That's actually a clip straight out of his song Space Uno. Anyway, guys, I'm here today to talk about movies because that's what we do here at the Moratorium. Jason and I created the Moratorium for our love for movies because we really enjoy watching movies and talking about movies. Why did we start the podcast? Because all we did before was sit around and talk about movies and drink beer. That's really kind of what we do now. We just record it for you. Anyway, I've been watching a lot of movies lately. I got onto a found footage little trip, and once you get on that, you just can't get off for a while. So I actually watched 3 movies. But before we get started, why don't you go down below, hit like, share, and subscribe. Please share this with all your friends. We're just here to have a good time. Check out the Moratorium podcast coming at you every Tuesday. Anywhere you listen, check us out. There's some good stuff going on. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. We're having lots of good times. And we're also on YouTube if you can't tell already. All right, guys, let's get to it. I watched a lot of movies this week, and I kind of got into a kick of watching found footage films. Now, I know a lot of these are kind of hit and miss, but I still love them no matter what. And sometimes it's a very immersive experience. Sometimes it's a little shaky camera that make you a little nauseous. But in this little mix, I actually watched 3 movies, and they were all very watchable, very fun. I had a good time. First one I watched was Lake Mungo because it has garnered a lot of attention over the years because of its hook. It is a found footage film. Now, I say that loosely because many found footage films you're going to find under several different categories. Okay, you're going to find the found footage film kind of like the Blair Witch Project. We actually found this footage under a rock, underneath some bear scat, some Blair Witch scat. And we put this film together to memorialize the last moments of 3 people wandering around in the woods getting lost. Blair Witch is not the first, probably. Now, I remember watching back in the day, I watched The Last Broadcast, and that's been 20 years ago, and that's, I believe, covering the Jersey Devil. Interesting little flick from what I remember, and like I said, it's been 20 years for me. I'm sorry, guys, I'm old. Anyway, I watched Lake Mungo, and Lake Mungo is kind of a memorialization of a family going through a crisis of losing their daughter, but also a mystery of the family might think that the daughter's still alive, that was misidentified by the husband. It was an interesting story. It was very solemn, I might say. Very, I think they kind of got their claws in you and pulled at your heartstrings a little bit, that this family is just reaching for answers and they don't want to handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. Anyway, Lake Mungo was written and directed by Joel Anderson. Now, Joel Anderson has only 3 credits under his belt. 2 other things were just short films. This is his only feature-length film. And it had a lot of play. It's actually gotten a lot of praise. I don't know why he has yet to make anything else, but hopefully we'll see something out of him soon. This had a couple of actors in it that haven't really been around much, and I think that's what really you need to do in a found footage film is find some little-known people who aren't going to be recognizable, And that makes this immersive experience even more likely. Maybe you don't recognize the actor, and therefore maybe it's a real person and they're not acting after all. That's what all of this is about, right? Lake Mungo, it was good. It was an interesting film. Guys should go check it out. Just a couple of little actors here, but they haven't been in a whole lot of stuff, so there's not a lot to say. Talia Zucker, she played the girl who was killed. I'm sorry if I'm spoiling this, but if you read the synopsis of the film, you'd already know that. And this film was put out, quite some time ago, 2008. You've probably already seen it if you like movies as much as we do. Anyway, tell you, she's been in 19 different things. She's done a lot of TV, and I see a lot of this happen with the found footage type films, that the actors have been in a lot of television. Now, you get a lot of one-offs in television. I mean, there's plenty of like CSI series, NCIS, that they're always clamoring to get somebody in there. A friend of mine Jason just sent me a post earlier about all the different actors that were in Miami Vice, and you wouldn't believe the people are in that, and the pictures of them, how young they actually were. So using a little known actress or actor from television, it might not be a bad way to go for these found footage films. I will maybe have to go back and revisit Lake Mungo, because I was trying to do other things when I was watching it. And a lot of times, especially with Lake Mungo, I think it garners more attention to watch it, to get the feels of the characters and how they are suffering through this. So it's kind of more of a drama / ghost story / mystery type, but not a bad watch whatsoever. I watched a second film because I had heard about it. I'd looked it up before, just had not had a chance to look at it again. I took the time this week to check it out. I'm talking about Willow Creek. Now, Willow Creek is a found footage film written and directed by none other than Bobcat Goldthwait. This was produced back in 2013 and follows a couple going into the woods, kind of like this is almost like a Blair Witch style, and almost a entirely different rip on it. But they're going to find the original site of the Bigfoot footage that everybody is very familiar with. And so this couple, their dynamic between these characters is what make this movie fun. Their dialogue exchanges while they're driving, while they're talking, while they're eating, it felt very real. Although that they are very clueless and head off into the woods, then experience what may or may not be a Bigfoot, or maybe yokels messing with them, or all the above. And a neat ending. A lot of these films do end with everybody dying, and therefore that's what makes it a found footage film, that somebody actually found it and decided to put together this story to create a narrative or a documentary or mockumentary style. This film was pretty well done. A couple of actors in here. Alexi Gilmore. She plays the girl in this film. And Alexi Gilmore, she's been in several things. She has 66 credits under her belt, and a lot of these are the same type of thing. A lot of TV series that play maybe just one-off characters. She did have a couple of runs of doing a repeat character. She was in CSI, Cyber. She was in a series called New Amsterdam, which had Jaime Lannister from Game of Thrones in it. It was a TV series a couple of years ago. I've never seen it. I did happen to watch a movie just recently with Jamie in it called The Silencing, and I may talk about that at some other point, but not right here. So she has acting chops, and maybe that's where you can get these actors that have some experience, but not a lot of not a public figure, not a recognizable face, put them in anywhere. The guy in the film he's the boyfriend and he's wanting to go film this Bigfoot sighting. I guess he's got a camera and it's his birthday and he wants to do what he wants to do. Anyway, so she follows him around. He's actually been in 83 things. His name is Bryce Johnson. And he's been around for quite a while, but he's done a lot of voice work as well. Some TV series. He was in Pretty Little Liars. I've never seen an episode, and I'm okay with that. He was in a movie called Darkness Rising, which I was just looking at. Might be interested in checking that out sometime soon. A series called Death Valley, which seemed very interesting. I'd never seen it. It was back in 2011. It actually reads a mockumentary following a police force as they deal with various perpetrators who are mostly supernatural in nature. Sounds like a lot of fun. But looks like it was only on for maybe one season, 12 episodes, but still might be something to check out. He did play some voice acting in Call of Duty 2. He was also in The Skulls Part 3. Yes, I guess they made a trilogy out of The Skulls, and forgive me if there's more than 3 because I just don't care. I watched the first one and it was all right. It was good to see Coach in a different role. Bryce did a good job in this. He is very believable. Like I said, the dynamic between the two characters, it was very believable. The dialogue, very funny between them until it gets serious, and then it looks like they just kind of go off the rails. But let's not stop there because I watched a third film. Yes, I can't get enough. And this is one that has been on my list for quite some time, and people talk about it quite often. The Taking of Deborah Logan. Now, this came out in 2014, and I think it got a lot of praise because it was pretty eerie. And yes, I enjoyed this film. It was very eerie, very creepy. The actors did a great job in it. And this story follows a woman and her mother. Her mother has Alzheimer's disease, and she has invited this documentary crew, which one of the girls, Michelle Ang in the film, she's writing a thesis about Alzheimer's, and she asked to come in and film with this family and offer them money to help them because I think they're actually having problems making rent and making house bills. Anyway, that's kind of just the setup. They get in there and they kind of find that there's a lot more going on. The actress who played Deborah Logan is Jill Larson. And Jill has done a lot of television. She has been in maybe every soap opera ever. She plays Opal Cordant in All My Children. And looking that up, that has 760 episodes under her character name. That's insane. I didn't really research it. That's a lot. That's a lot of acting time, and she does a great job in this by playing somebody that has Alzheimer's disease and having a difficult time, but there seems to be a supernatural aspect of the story. I'm not going to tell you. You guys kind of need to see this one. It is very creepy, has a nice little lore behind it. Some good scenes. Now, this one is set up as they're making a documentary, so there's a reason for them to try to film everything. But they also do put up like stationary cameras within the house that catch various instances of unexplainable events as this character is having difficulties with her Alzheimer's. Now, is she possessed? Is she haunted? I am not divulging any of that. You guys need to go out and watch this. The Taking of Deborah Logan was written and directed by Adam Robitel. And Adam's been around for just a little bit now. He directed Insidious. The Last Key is one I have not seen yet. Very interesting stuff. He's also working on another one that's coming out really soon, hopefully. Insidious: The Dark Realm. He's got a TV series that's just been announced called The Craving, and I'm pretty sure that's just talking about Popeye's chicken. Anyway, Adam Robitel also wrote a Paranormal Activity, The Ghost Dimension. And I think I may have watched that film. A lot of the Paranormal Activity movies kind of run all together after the first three or four. I enjoyed the Paranormal Activity movies. I like that ghost aspect of hidden cameras catching things. And that's another thing that has drawn me into, and probably you as well, into these type of movies, these found footage movies, that we're no longer looking at the actors and actresses in the frame, but the shit that's happening on in the background. That's got us watching movies in a whole nother dimension, knowing that something is probably different in the background, and we are glued to the screen to see if we can catch it or be the first to catch it. Anyway, guys, so the Taking of Deborah Logan also has Anne Ramsey in it. Now, this is Anne Ramsey, television star, and not Anne Ramsey, Mother Fratelli from the Goonies. No, this is Anne Ramsey, which that is Anne Ramsey. Now, Anne Ramsey has had 79 credits under her belt. She was actually a returning character in Mad About You, a series maybe I watched a few episodes back in the day. Not a big Paul Reiser fan, not a big Helen Hunt fan at that either. But she was also in A League of Her Own. She played first base woman, Helen Haley. She was in Planet of the Apes, the one that's directed by Tim Burton that nobody wants to talk about. She was in Dexter, though. She was in 6 episodes of Dexter. Now, I should have recognized her from that, but it's been a number of years since I watched Dexter, but I am looking forward to the new continuing story of Dexter coming soon, hopefully. Anyway, guys, that's 3 found footage films coming right at you. Go check them out. I'm going to say my top pick out of those 3 is going to be The Taking of Deborah Logan. I found this to be a very interesting story, some good jump scares, some interesting camera tricks, and I just think it was very well done. I really enjoyed it. I can understand how he's gone on further to do more found footage type things like Insidious and Paranormal Activity. My second one, I would say go watch Willow Creek, actually. I really enjoyed Willow Creek. Now, there was one actor that was in Willow Creek that was very recognizable. His name was Peter Jason. And if you follow any type of movie stuff, you'll understand who he is. He's been in everything. 48 Hours, Prince of Darkness, They Live. He works a lot with John Carpenter as well. Village of the Damned, Escape from LA, Ghosts of Mars. If you look at his filmography, he has 267 entries. This guy's been around forever. And granted, the shot that he was in Willow Creek, it was a little farther away. He's still a very recognizable figure. Even though you may recognize his face, he has this ability to blend in. Anyway, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. All right. Come on and check us out at the Moratorium. Every Tuesday, new episode. This week, we're doing Life Force. Had a great time with it. I hope you enjoy it too. Please like, share, and subscribe on all the social medias. Tell a friend. Tell a family member. Force a family member to listen to us. We're just a couple of guys having a good time. Anyway, hope to see you next time. And as always, long live VHS.